Hi there, I'm Jeff Moeslein, and welcome to the Measure Twice Home Improvement Podcast, brought to you by Legacy Remodeling. And John, welcome to the show. What are we doing today, man?
Well, today's a siding day. We're going to jump into some different siding options. As usual, we're going to give some input on when it might be time to change the siding, what your options are as far as material, and
siding, not sighing. I am just chock full of dad jokes.
You're a dad. Hey, he's a dad.
What can I tell you?
When you've got 4 kids, your brain just operates in dad joke land.
I'm immediately ready to issue a bad joke at all times. So we're talking about siding.
We are.
Right. What do we want to talk about?
Well, this being the Measure Twice podcast, I guess we want to talk about, when you really know it's time. And then how do you choose? I mean, I'm gonna sort of set you up to have at it, because I know that you have a lot of knowledge on siding and can talk a long time about it. So I'd love to hear about options when it's time to make that choice, and what we can do to help people's lives.
So we've been doing siding for a lot of years. I don't know if you remember this. I'm sure you remember this. Dad's career early on was working at Alcoa Building Products. So he was selling aluminum siding. It was before it was even vinyl.
Tin Men.
Exactly, back with the Tin Men days. He was selling aluminum siding and aluminum Alcoa Building Products in the late 70s and the early 80s. So the siding is something that goes way back for us. It wasn't one of the first things that Swingline offered back before we were Legacy Remodeling and we were Swingline Windows, but it is something that we offered not too far into the business, for sure. It is one of those products that customers were asking for after we made customers happy with great window and door installations. And as a result of that, we were actually the first and only Alcoa master contractor in Pittsburgh at the time we were selling Alcoa products. And not too long after that, we were actually the first James Hardie preferred contractor in Pittsburgh. So we were offering really good quality Alcoa vinyl siding, Alcoa aluminum siding before that, and James Hardie fiber cement siding really throughout our history. So this is a product that we know an awful lot about. It's something that has a huge impact on the appearance of your home. If you're talking about curb appeal and getting out of your car and feeling like, I'm glad I just came home to this house, siding has a huge impact on that. There's a lot of different kinds of siding, so knowing when the time to change the siding, it may be different from material to material. If you have an old wood siding, as long as it's still taking paint and it still looks nice, you don't need to change that. If you're starting to see rotted wood, or the woodpeckers are getting at it, or maybe it has just been painted so many times and has absorbed so much moisture over the years that it just no longer is taking paint, you need to start looking at that. There's homes out there that have stucco on them. Your Tudor types of homes. In a lot of cases, that material starts to get damaged and worn down by the elements after time, and you can just visually look at it and tell it's time to change this. There's other homes that have aluminum siding on them. And the finish may have faded. It may be dented from a zillion things over the years. But good Lord, that aluminum is going to outlive me. So it becomes not necessarily a function of like, do I have to change it for structural reasons, but do I want to put something on my house that looks nicer? So there's different reasons why people might want to change their siding, and they sort of maybe vary a little bit based on what's on there to begin with. But in any event, we have options that can help those people, and even if Legacy doesn't have those options, there's a lot of great siding products out there today that can help to improve people's homes.
Great. And also talk a little bit about the what I guess you could say the other systems that are often tied together with siding. Gutters, downspouts, soffit, fascia, things like that, all of the different trim around windows, because sometimes we do have customers who are doing windows and siding, and we can pair that all together, or sometimes you got to work with the window trim you're working with, or tell about the whole process and surrounding the siding as well a little bit.
One of the things that I like most about being able to offer our customers more than one product or multiple products as we do is that they can come to us and we can take care of their windows and their door and their siding all at one, all through one business, and really make it seamless and hands-off for that customer. And again, as you said, there's places where the windows and the siding, they sort of intersect, and we want to make sure that is taken care of in a way that looks really nice for the customer. In addition to doing just the siding stuff, there's a lot of other stuff to the exterior of a home. We do soffit and fascia, which is, sort of that trim around the edge of your roof. Fascia, that's the bottom of an overhang. For those of you who aren't familiar with the home improvement jargon,
the soffit underneath.
The soffit's underneath. That's right. And then we do gutters and downspouts. So if you would elect to have us do the outside of your house, we really could take care of all of that on that whole home envelope. The other thing that I would point out, you talked about the systems that are out there, and I think that's an interesting word to use. People, I think, a lot of times just think of siding as like the skin, but there's a lot more to it. The siding that we sell is what I would call a composite siding. The outside skin of it is vinyl, but it's actually manufactured to an insulating board. So it not only has a very durable outer layer, but it additionally adds insulation, adds rigidity, adds sound dampening. And so when you put a new siding project on a home using the products that we sell, you end up getting a lot of benefits other than just something that looks nicer. And beyond that, and this is something that I think a lot of people don't realize, your siding really isn't meant to be the waterproof exterior of your home. It's more of a rain screen. Beneath your siding, you should have a good quality home wrap that helps to protect your house against air leakage, helps to protect your house against any kind of water infiltration. And so when we would do a siding project, or really any other reputable contractor would do a siding project, they should be applying a good house wrap to the outside, taping those seams to make sure that the water can't get in, making sure that the air can't, that warm conditioned air that you've spent money for in the winter months, or that nice cool air conditioned air in the summer, can't leak out. And so you're not just putting the siding up, you're putting up that house wrap, you're putting up all of the trim components that you need to make that job look really great, and we handle all of those aspects of it.
Yeah, and something that people might not even think about is you're thinking about the exterior and sort of the ability to have yourself sealed off from the elements and all of that, but the actual insulating value that we add to it's not just a protection from the elements. It is insulating. It is wrapping your house in warmth. It is going to add not just energy efficiency, but people who have used our solid core siding notice that their house is quieter. Markedly quieter is what people will describe to us, and obviously we know that, but sometimes we forget to tell them that that's gonna be a side benefit,
Well, it's especially pronounced when we do the windows and the siding.
Absolutely,
you take out old single pane windows and you put in a good dual pane window with double strength glass, and then you put in our insulated siding product with the solid core, and all of a sudden they're like, I don't hear the kids playing in the neighborhood anymore, and,
right.
and I got to open the window because I want to make sure that I can hear the kids playing out there, and it's like their mind is blown by how much quieter it can be in their house, as you said, and it's an added insulation, and it's also all that maintenance that you avoid because you're not continuing to paint your house. It is that energy savings that you get. It's that improved curb appeal. It's that increased home value. So there's a lot of reasons why people put siding on homes today.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's the biggest surface area of your home is going to be all that siding very often, it's as you sort of mentioned, some siding might last a long time. It might hang on there, but when you do replace your siding with Legacy, we have just so many different profiles. We have larger different lap styles. We have board and batten. We have cedar. We have just a whole bunch of different options. So sure, that old aluminum might be hanging on, but
we can make it look a lot better.
We can make it look a lot better. We can transform that house really, really easily for you. And depending on the scope of the job, some jobs might take a couple days. Some might take a little bit longer if we're fully transforming the outside of your house. But as I've encouraged in some of the other podcasts, if you have a question, as I've encouraged on some of the other podcasts, if you got a question about whether it's time to change your siding, feel free to send in a photo. Let us know. Send it to contact@legacyremodeling.com. We'll take a look. Also, something that I could bring to everybody's attention here is on our website, if you go under the About tab, there is a gallery button, and you can see all of our before and after, just transformations all around the Pittsburgh area. And so if you're looking at doing some remodeling, I think that's a really great place to start, is to see how you can transform things and to do your homework on the company. Before you move forward with anyone, you want to measure twice. You want to make sure you're making the right decision before you cut. And so take a look at the galleries, beautiful before and after. So one of the things that we focus on a lot is we do a whole lot of vinyl siding. And to us, it's obviously a fantastic material, a fantastic product, but there are other options out there. What other options might people go with?
So I would say, we do a lot of vinyl siding. The majority of the siding we do actually is what I would call a composite siding, which I mentioned a little bit ago. So it is a vinyl skin, but it's married to a insulated board underneath that's actually co-extruded with it at the factory. So it is, it's made to be a part of that panel, and you get those soundproofing and insulating qualities. We also do some traditional vinyl siding, though. That's just a hollow back vinyl, and that's certainly a good budget option for people that are looking to improve the appearance of their outside of their house, but also do it at a cost conscious level. We offer some solid PVC sidings, which look really nice. We have a product called Select, spelled with a C, that looks beautiful on houses.
Absolutely.
And there's other products out there that we don't really get into. I'd mentioned earlier Hardy siding. That's something that we've installed a lot of, but we got away from it in recent years. But there are other companies out there that obviously still offer it. And beyond that, there's a number of other brands and materials. But right now at this point, I think it's primarily going to be your fiber cement products, which is going to be what you find with a Hardy. Your vinyl products, which is what you're going to find with our traditional vinyl siding and our composite siding materials. And then again, there's PVC products, and they all have their pros and cons. I think that you got to watch with the fiber cement products and with the PVC products, because it's a painted exterior, whereas with the vinyl siding, the color is typically all the way through, so you don't have to worry as much about things chipping or whatever. I mean, it really is meant to be something that doesn't need to have anything done to it ever again. The paint finishes on the other types of products will last a number of years, but eventually it will need to be repainted. So that's a concern and a consideration you might want to take into account.
Yeah.
And again, it's a matter of, in a lot of cases, what you think is going to look best on your house, and finding a company that's going to do a good job with the installation. I know I've said this in other podcasts that I've done, but finding a great product is only part of it. It's also finding that great installer, because the best window, the best siding is going to look terrible and perform terrible if it's not put up the right way. So that's the biggest piece, is finding the right company to work with. And it's quite honestly, one of the things that I think makes Legacy really special is the fact that we have, I believe, all of the elements we need to make sure that we are the right company.
Something you touched on was, painting and things like that. Something that's really nice with our vinyl siding and our composite siding is that it's pretty much maintenance free. It is made to withstand all of the different elements. It actually has a warranty that is a warranty while your house is still standing.
Yes.
So if you have a question about whether you're getting a good product or not, I think that speaks for itself, and especially when you're working with a company like us, whose installers have all been trained on these products, certified by the Vinyl Siding Institute, actually. If you are looking to transform your home and need to keep things warmer and really upgrade that curb appeal, give us a call.
Well, I will tell you the one nice thing, one of the many nice things I should say about the composite siding that we offer, that they actually offer a from the manufacturer labor warranty as well. Because, because they know that in order for us to be able to offer it, we have to be trained in following certain practices to ensure that proper installation. And as a company that sells this product, they stand behind us, which is kind of a nice thing to be able to say. again, we've put it on right. If something goes wrong down the line, and we're not able to take care of that for the customer, the manufacturer of that product actually will. So that's kind of a unique aspect of it.
Yeah, extra peace of mind, absolutely. Yep. Again, if you are thinking about doing some of these projects, give us a call at Legacy. Visit legacyremodeling.com. Our phone number is 412-341-1933. We offer financing options. And currently here in April, which is when we're recording this, we are offering friends and family pricing throughout the month. So give us a call. Spring's the best time to do your remodeling. We're ready to go for you, and hope to see you soon. Anyway, thanks again for being with us, guys. This was Jeff and John talking siding on the Measure Twice Home Improvement Podcast presented by Legacy Remodeling. And we'll see you next time. And thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.